This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today, we're here to review the final movie in our Fall into Love Again throwback series, Autumn Dreams, which originally premiered on Hallmark in 2015 and is currently available to stream on Hallmark Plus. 'Tis the season to follow your favorite podcasters in all of the places. You can find us both on TikTok and Instagram as Girls Gone Hallmark.
Hey, we have a Facebook group if you're looking to join a fun group of drama-free, like-minded people who want to talk about Hallmark movies. We are on Girls Gone Hallmark in Facebook groups. My gosh, we are getting some weather here today.
It really is apropos for us to be discussing this fall movie because it is pouring down rain here in Southern California. It's a novelty. We're very excited about it. And if you can hear it in the background, that's what that is.
I actually feel uneasy about it. That's how,
that's funny because I feel like that too. And then I think, what am I worried is going to happen?
It's just because we're not used to it. I'm just the last time it rained was probably January. I'm like, what if I have a roof leak or something?
Yeah, I always worry about that too. It's coming down.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk Autumn Dreams with a synopsis.
Years after the annulment of their spontaneous marriage, a couple discovers a mistake in the paperwork that means they are still husband and wife.
Autumn Dreams is directed by Neil Fernley. Neil was a machine of a director with 78 directing credits that include 46 episodes of When Calls the Heart and many iterations of Garage Sale Mysteries. Sadly, Neil passed in 2024 after a battle with ALS.
That's so sad.
Very.
I'm sorry to hear that. Laurie Stevens wrote Autumn Dreams. This is one of just 2 writing credits for Laurie, who also wrote the series Time Tracks. Guys, can I just pause right there? I know I sound crazy right now.
I don't think you sound that bad. Wendy's a little bit sick, though.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm like a frog.
It doesn't sound that bad, I promise.
Okay.
Jill Wagner stars as Annie Hancock. Jill most recently appeared in the series Lioness and will appear in an upcoming holiday film, Cranberries and Carols, on another network this season.
Cranberries and Carols. I mean, that's as ChatGPT as you can get. Colin Egglesfield plays Ben Lawson. Colin's resume includes shows like The Client List, Melrose Place, Rizzoli and Isles, and All My Children.
Ken Tremblett plays Hal Hancock. Among Ken's 93 acting projects, you'll find a role as Dennis Haskins in the unauthorized Saved by the Bell story, an appearance on Garage Sale Mysteries, as well as When Calls the Heart.
He definitely looks like Principal
Mr. Belding.
Mr. Belding. Yeah. Totally.
I used to work for a golf tournament, and one of the pre-tournament events was a pro-am. No, a celebrity-am, and he was one of the celebrities.
Oh, really?
At the celebrity-am. Yes, Dennis Haskins.
Wow.
That was in at the year 2000.
Was Saved by the Bell still
No.
during those days? I don't remember.
No, it was not. Maybe the college years, but I don't even think even that. No.
Has he done anything other than Saved by the Bell? I wonder. I'm wondering where Dennis Haskins is.
That's a great question.
I'm surprised he's not on Hallmark.
He's not in this movie.
No, just the guy that looks like him. Rachel Hayward plays the role of Jessica Hancock. Rachel has 113 acting credits, most recently appearing in the series Watson and last year's Hallmark movie A Reason for the Season.
Maddie Finocchio plays Tony. We last saw Mattio as Chief... Did I say Mattio? We last saw Maddie as Chief Boyd Thompson on Providence Falls.
Bill Dow plays driver Hector with 128 acting credits. Bill has appeared several times on Hallmark, including several episodes of When Calls the Heart.
Tassia Tellis plays Giovanna. Tassia has 31 acting credits and has most recently appeared in the series Shoresy.
Shoresy, yeah.
Like Jersey Shoresy?
I think so.
Autumn Dreams was her only Hallmark project.
Okay, question for you. Mm-hmm. When I'm typing up these notes, Giovanna, I was like, that name does not hit. I remember her saying her name in the movie.
Doesn't sound like it was what it was. I was doing my notes and I had to scroll back up to see the name of the character. And I was like, that's not what I remember her name being at all.
Me neither. And I'm like, am I saying it wrong? Or is it wrong in IMDb?
I don't know.
And I'm too lazy to go back and put the movie on to see when she introduces
Totally
herself.
same.
All right. Michael Carl Richards plays Joe. Michael has appeared in a ton of Hallmark movies, including Open by Christmas, Sweet Autumn, and You're Baking Me Crazy.
We are going to take a quick break and we're going to come right back with first impressions. Hey, Wendy, what was your first impression of Autumn Dreams?
This week, Amy Winslow trades crime scenes for cornfields. I'm going to talk about it in my wishes.
My first impression is I think we all know what I'm going to talk about in my wishes.
Oh, I don't know. I'm excited.
Let's talk likes.
Oh, I know. I have it too. Okay, let's talk likes.
Can I start?
Sure.
Maddie freaking Finocchio is the star of this movie.
I agree with you.
He's such a delight. His accent, his attitude. I loved everything about Tony. Tony.
I agree. I imagine that there are some, I didn't look at the IMDb reviews, but I imagine there are some who are like, oh, this guy with his fake accent and
so
his
fun.
And his like over the top, you know,
It has a high,
lawyer.
it's like a 7.4 rating on IMDb.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I loved Manny Finocchio in this role. I'm like, we've been saying for a long time, give this guy a lead role. I mean, he did have a really big role in Providence Falls.
Yeah.
So I guess we got there, but I thought he was damn delightful.
I hope we see him in Countdown to Christmas.
I
Tub,
hope.
I did message Erica Tevele asking if we would see him in Countdown to Christmas. He ghosted us. He left me on red.
Aww.
Very sad. Maybe he just can't say. Maybe he's too busy.
Maybe. Usually, sometimes he'll give us a nugget. That's too bad.
Speaking of supporting characters, I also loved Sweet Hector, the chauffeur. What is that look on your face?
That dude was creepy.
What?
That's why I texted you to ask if you had watched the movie, because I was like, I need to talk about this one character.
You read him as creepy. I read him as paternal and loving and warm and kind.
I'm going to talk about it in my wishes.
Well, I am going to go on record as saying I really enjoyed Sweet Hector. I thought he was exactly like I said, paternal and loving and warm and kind and supportive both to Annie and to Ben.
I got the ick.
Oh my goodness.
Didn't you think,
Poor Bill Dow.
wasn't that giving like Pretty Woman vibes to you? Like, you remember Pretty Woman, where I can't even remember the actor's name. He's very famous. And he like helps her. He helps Julia Roberts along. He's the one who like sets up the dinner where she can like practice how to eat and all that.
Yeah, I don't remember who it is, but okay.
Anyway, it gave me that same sort of feeling.
Okay. Well, talk to me about what you liked.
Is that all you liked?
No.
Okay. First, I want to say overall, I thought this movie was good
Me too.
in a very typical Hallmark kind of way.
Sure.
It was better than some we've watched in this like little collection of fall movies, I thought. I liked how it opened in the past, and it was very much show us, not tell us.
Yeah.
I loved that. Like, we got a big chunk of storytelling in the past.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And I just want to say, Annie, as like an 18-year-old, when she gets married, she's got the cutest little dress on.
Yeah, real cute.
I was like, so cute. My 17-year-old would wear it today. I liked all that stuff. I thought Jill Wagner and Colin Egglesfield were both very good in this. I'm going to talk about Jill more in my wishes, but I thought they were very good in this. And what I really liked is that Jill's character, I like that they made her out of her environment, but they didn't make her like a country bumpkin.
Yes.
She was smart.
Yes. Capable.
Capable, yeah, but not out of sorts, but just in a new
There's so many people.
I mean,
Yeah, but they go to Brooklyn. She's like, I love Brooklyn when she has that pizza.
I've been to New York a couple times and I was like, don't you go to John's? Isn't like John's like the pizza place?
I
In the West End.
The wrong person to ask.
In the West End, that's in London. And the
Upper West Side.
I don't remember where it's at. I don't remember where it's
My husband
at.
has a pizza place that we go to every time we're in New York. I don't eat pizza. New Yorkers would be very offended by the way I order pizza.
No cheese.
Cheeseless, so I just don't even bother.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the good pizza in New York is.
Hold on a second. I'm so embarrassed that I called it like the West End. Where the heck is John's? People are screaming at me right now. Pizza, New York. John's of Bleecker Street.
Okay.
That's where it's at.
Got to try John's of Bleecker Street.
It was delicious. Delicious.
Send us your New York recommendations. I'm going next month. I've been several times. I've been a lot of times. But if you have some like
Where
something
are you staying?
we're staying in Midtown. We were going to stay somewhere like fun and exciting, but we're not.
Okay.
We're staying in a Marriott
All right.
just to make life easy.
Well, points, baby. Points.
Points. That's right. 100% booked on points.
That's all I have because we already talked about Maddie Finocchio. Do you have any other likes?
Yeah, I like that we see some growth in the character of Giovanna, at least growth in the way that she's portrayed. We meet her as this like kind of bridezilla in the elevator before we know who she is, although I think we know who she is. And we know that she's not well matched to Ben, but they also show her another side of her, which is kind and warm. And I was a little bit waiting for the other shoe to drop in that situation. If you've seen My Best Friend's Wedding, when, Cameron Diaz's character brings Julia Roberts' character, like she makes her a bridesmaid and she brings her in close and she's like, you kept me close. And she's like, I was right to do so because you were trying to steal my husband. I was waiting for that moment where that's what she was trying to do. We never get that. And I do wonder if, we don't really get any closure in their relationship other than the newspaper article. And so I don't know if there was a breakup scene that was filmed and not used. But all we know of her, the way she treats Annie, she's actually quite kind and lovely to Annie and invites her to participate in the rehearsal and in the wedding. And she takes her shopping and she helps her find a truly lovely dress. And she doesn't set her up to be like, oh no, that's great.
Right.
And in fact, it's like a Glinda the Good Witch situation in Wicked.
I love that scene actually with the wedding dresses.
Me too. So I like that we saw two sides of her. I think one of the things I'll talk about in my wishes kind of helps us to root for Giovanna a little bit. I think Jill Wagner's just so good, like you said. She and Colin Egglesfield were well matched. It's hard for me that Jill Wagner is such a good actress.
Yeah, we've talked about that at length and when discussing Mystery 101.
So let's talk about our wishes.
Okay. I hated that Annie just went with her dad and that Ben didn't fight for her.
Nobody fights.
They were adults. I mean, I wouldn't want my 18-year-old daughter to run off in a secret wedding situation either, but I wouldn't demand her to come home. It was just weird. Ben was not a bad guy.
No.
So I couldn't really track why the dad would be so upset other than their age. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't love that either. They both just kind of caved.
They're like, all right, I'm grab my suitcase, going with my dad.
The strength to run away and to get married, but not to fight for it.
Yeah. I thought that was weird. I thought it was weird. I have a feeling this is what you're going to talk about, but I felt bad for both Joe and Giovanna. They were both collateral damage here.
Yes.
And I feel like the writer tried to make them both unlikable so the viewers didn't feel bad when they got cut loose.
That's an interesting thought. Well, that was, I thought that about Giovanna when we first
At first, yeah.
They make her seem unlikable, and even Annie says like, oh, I feel bad for whoever her fiance is, right? Whoever's marrying her. But then we see that she's not a bad person. It's just more that she and Ben are poorly matched. She wants to change his apartment and do all of these things. And it's just that they're not a good match. They're not meant for each other. And I think the same is probably true of
Joe.
I
mean, the writing is on the wall when he's like, let's set a date. We've been engaged for 2 years. And she's like,
Yeah, I didn't really feel like they made Joe look like a bad guy. I just feel like they made it obvious from the beginning that Annie wasn't all in on Joe.
Yeah.
She was so reluctant to set a date and plan a wedding and do anything with moving that relationship forward.
She was like this when he'd call, "Hey, Joe, how's it going?" Like, it wasn't like how you would talk to like your romantic partner at all. "Hey, Joe, what's up?"
No, and so I feel like they try and get around the fact that they broke up their relationships by making them not break up for each other. And Ben shows up and he's like, "What do you mean she's not engaged anymore?" But they did behave inappropriately. They do kiss. They are on basically dates. Out this movie. You know, her going up to his apartment and all that time they spend together. They were both cheating on their partner.
That's the stuff you hate.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Even though obviously Annie and Ben are supposed to be together. Obviously they still have the same chemistry. Obviously they're in relationships that are mismatched. I hate it when it comes together like that.
Yeah. There was a scene where I think they were in the limo and she like snuggled up on his shoulder. And I was like, "No, girl.
What are you doing?
You're sending some really mixed signals here." Not even mixed signals. Like, what are you doing?
Right? So there's a TikToker I follow. No, don't even follow. Showed up on my For You page. And she's like, "My husband left. I'm going through a divorce." And like, I keep running into her stuff, right? And she's like processing like her life through divorce. Well, then the other day, TikTok showed me another woman who's the other woman.
Oh my goodness.
And the comments, this is the worst part. The comments ranged from, "He left her for you," which I was like, yikes, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Oh, boy.
But then they were like, "A strong home is not built on another woman's tears." And this woman, her post was like, "I know you all want to make me the villain and go." And I was like, maybe TikTok's not the place for you right now.
Wow.
Like, so she was the Annie in this situation, but it's complicated because obviously Annie and Ben were a better match, but you're right. There is collateral damage here.
Yeah.
And I think it might be hard to live with that.
If you're Annie or Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially she's going to have to see, oh, actually, I take that back because they were on the roof of a New York penthouse or a building at the end.
Yeah.
I was thinking like she would have to see Joe all the time because he worked for the farm.
They're on a penthouse at the end.
Yeah, you don't remember? Like she's pregnant and they're like in a field, but then it pulls back and it's on top of like a New York City building.
I literally have no memory of that scene.
Yes.
Because here's what I didn't like. They got engaged right away.
Uh-huh.
And my notes say they should not have gotten engaged. I don't
know anything about each other.
No, I understand you had this relationship years ago, but you need to date now.
Yeah.
That's what really irritated me is they just jumped. I was like, no. I don't care that you're married already. You need to get engaged. And you need to date each other. You need to meet each other.
Yeah.
You spent 3 days together.
Right.
So that very bothered me.
I think you turned it off before you saw that end scene.
Maybe I did. I don't remember her being pregnant at all.
Yeah.
Finally, this is not a fall movie other than one throwaway mention of the season.
I love fall. I think that was it.
I think you're exactly right.
Here are my two final. No, I have three wishes. I want to talk about Jill for a second. She gives off strong Amy Winslow energy all the time. Now, we have only seen her in Pearl in Paradise and Mystery 101.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like she's always Amy Winslow, though. Like in this movie, I was like, she moves like Amy Winslow to me.
Just kind of like take charge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see a different note of her. I like her as an actor, but it gave the same sort of energy.
When she comes in on that tractor, I was a little afraid that she was going to lean real hard into Country Bumpkin.
Yeah.
Like she's got that, like she's almost like has an accent a little bit. She doesn't do it. It's that only moment where I was like, oh, we're going to get character Jill Wagner.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing we'll talk about, Hector creeped me out. I know it's on my notes here. We talked about it. He's always like observing, always watching in the rearview mirror. It felt creepy. It was like a tight scene of his eyes in the rearview mirror. I was like, yuck. I hated all of that.
Interesting.
I hated all of that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He's kind of like smiling when he looks. You should see Wendy's face.
The full creeps.
Okay.
The full creeps. And last, I talked about it in a movie we just reviewed. There is a problem with time in this movie. How much time is in 1 week? She gets there. It is a work day.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, Ben is supposed to get married, but they do all these things. They go to court, they go shopping, they go sightseeing. Giovanna goes to Chicago and comes back. They have a rehearsal dinner, or not dinner, but a rehearsal. I'm like, how many days are in a week here?
Yeah. I mean, that honestly is all my did you see that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Especially, how does Annie make it home in time to save the crops? The storm is actively happening.
I thought about that as well. I was like, if a storm is active, isn't there like an issue getting an airplane into Des Moines or
Also,
wherever?
you can't just like walk to the airport and walk on an airplane. Like you gotta you gotta get to the airport, find a flight, get home. This is hours later. It kind of seems like she probably is not getting there before the rain has actually started.
Right.
If we're already in blustery wind blowing everything
and
around.
Annie is one person.
Yeah, why couldn't you call in? You don't have some extra farm help you could have called in to sandbag the crops?
Right. Exactly.
That's my only did you see that.
Now, I have a question because they're like, we made quota. What does that mean exactly? Does it mean they grew enough
Or harvested
corn?
enough to be able to sell it and make it make sense.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, not a farmer. I have no idea.
Me either. That's just what I'm assuming.
All right, let's talk. Did you see that? I know you
That was
already
mine.
mentioned yours. I have one, and it's just the scene where Annie and Ben reunite as adults in the office.
Yeah.
She knocks on Tony's door and Ben makes some sort of like comment or whatever. And they turn around and Ben goes, Annie? ? And Annie goes, Ben? ? Like, that's not how you react to somebody. You would be like, he would say Annie and she would just say, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not, wait, are you who I think you are?
Like, yeah, you're going to immediately realize you were engaged. You were married.
You were married.
Yeah. Yes. Excellent point. Uh-huh. Do you ever envision that moment, like running into someone from your past being like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, from my past? Oh, well, no, I don't want to do any
I don't
of that.
either.
I would pretend that I don't know you.
Oh, I have turned and walked the other way. And
As have I.
like that.
As have I. I was at a concert like a long time ago with my current husband, and who was walking down opposite of me is somebody that I used to date. And I was like, we're just going to continue to walk by like I don't know you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've not had that in my adult years, but I've definitely turned and walked away from people I did not want to have a
Totally.
confrontation with.
Absolutely.
Hey, what did you rate Autumn Dreams?
I gave it 3.5 stars.
I gave it 3.75 stars.
Hey.
I like this movie.
I liked it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. We'll be back next time with more Hallmark reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.